Hi there, it's me, Stephen Thomas, with Reports on Housing with yet another housing debrief. Thank you for joining us. Our company is Reports on Housing. It's your local real estate snapshot. We have reports that dot all over SoCal, the Bay Area, Phoenix, and Vegas as well. And the whole premise of doing these reports and also doing these YouTube videos is properly setting expectations by cutting through all of the noise. There is so much noise out there. And it's just a lot of people with these giant opinions, and they try to back it up with a few facts, but they really don't understand economics and trend analysis. And yet they could put together YouTube videos and they sound like experts. But you know what? At the end of the day, it really boils down to all the facts and all the analytics. And I'm a housing analyst. This is all that I do and totally enjoy it. My junk food of choice is data, economics, statistics. That's what I love. Today, we're going to do the LA fires impact on housing. And there really has been an impact on housing. But I want to remind everybody that there's still a lot of devastation that's out there. A lot of people are rebuilding their lives. There is a GoFundMe page, and it's Wildfire Relief Fund 2025. That's Wildlife Relief Fund 2025. And I encourage everybody to go out and donate and just get involved. That's one way that we all can get involved. And there are a lot of deserving families that are out there that need our help. And there's a lot of displaced families, a ton of displaced families. There's almost 12,000 homes that were destroyed in those fires. It was the biggest disaster in Los Angeles history, with so many homes that were burnt down. It's apartments, condos, homes. It's people's home. The wildfires, as we all saw, just absolutely devastated Los Angeles. And so many people have been asking me what's happened to real estate. So this is why we're diving into this a little bit. So all these displaced people, where did they go? They had to go to hotels, vacation rentals. I know there was even some vacation rentals that were giving out their vacation rentals for for free or a deep discount. And then there's a lot of people that are looking at, okay, what do I do? Buy or rent? And I'll get into that because that is what I can track the best, is what's happened on the buy and the rent side, because everybody's asking, what is the impact going to be from the Los Angeles fires? Not only on SoCal, but I've even heard it as far as in Las Vegas, that there's a lot of people that feel that there's going to be an impact in a boost in kind of some local demand. Now, as far as residential resale is concerned, it's really, it boils down to, in Los Angeles, there are 10,307 homes that are available right now today. That is actually up 38%, or up 2,846 homes. So there's actually more homes right now this year that are actively on the market compared to last year. It's almost making its way in Los Angeles County towards pre-COVID numbers. Demand is at 2,873. That is the number of pending sales within the last 30 days. And I gauge the same thing year over year. We do it every 2 weeks. And at this same time last year, there actually was more demand. So today, demand is 7% less than last year at this time, and 232 fewer pending sales. So while there are more homes available, there's actually fewer pending sales. The expected market time, that is, you place your home on the market, when are you going to become a pending sale? It's the true velocity, the speed of the market. It's actually at 108 days for all of Los Angeles County. It was at 72 days this time last year. So the market is a lot more sluggish in the residential resale side of things. Now, I'm going to bring up Orange County because out of all the counties that were impacted, Orange County was impacted probably the most. And I wanted to bring up the most behind Los Angeles. And in Orange County, the inventory is at 2,821. Demand is that's up 45% compared to last year, up 879 homes. Now, the demand is at 1,340, which is only up 4%, or up an additional 50 pending sales, so almost the same amount of demand, but once again, a lot more homes on the market. So the expected market time in Orange County is a lot hotter. It's at 63 days, but it was a lot hotter last year at 45 days. So, and that's pretty much the story with all markets. All markets are a bit slower. They have a lot more inventory and very, very similar demand. Los Angeles is one of those areas that actually has less demand than last year. So this kind of gives you a sense for what residential resale looks like. Now, as far as impacting demand, there will be an impact on demand, but it's kind of like a dimmer switch. It's going to be so slight that you're not going to really notice it. It's not something that sellers should expect this wave of people to come through and enter the purchase market. That's not it at all. It's going to be this slow moving number of buyers that enter the marketplace, and will be easily absorbed over time with all this extra inventory that's out there. Now, there was an impact on the luxury side of things, and I will get into that. Now, inventory for LA, the luxury is the top 10% of the market. It's actually 2 million plus. And a lot of what had burned down is that 2 million plus in the Pacific Palisades and just north of Pasadena in Altadena. You're looking at inventory of 2,608. That's up 24% compared to last year. So there was already a number of extra luxury homes. The difference is demand in luxury actually blossomed within the last several weeks. And we've seen demand is at 367, which is 24% higher than last year. So the expected market time that if you place your home on the market, when are you going to become a pending sale, is at 213 days right now, and it was at 212 last year at this time. Now, the luxury was a lot slower than last year in LA just a month ago, and now it's kind of on par with last year. It's kind of like the rest of the all the ranges. It's a little bit slower than last year, but luxury caught up to last year, and that's just because there's a little bit of extra added push within the luxury. It's not a ton, but there was some activity. Remember, these have to close, so this is somebody who would have to go out there, buy something immediately, so it's not going to be a gigantic impact in the market. And a lot of the demand is they've become a pending sale. That is within the last couple of weeks we saw this extra push. So we're not seeing a lot of closed sales. What we're talking about are available homes and what's demand pending sales. If you look at closed sales data, you're not going to see anything at all because it's just not enough time to close any transactions. But we did see a push on the demand side of things. Now in Orange County, the year-over-year luxury, it is inventories at 1,006, so it's 49% higher than last year. An extra 331 homes, and demand at 228, which is 27% higher than last year, which is 49 pending sales. Now, the expected market time, that speed of the market, is at 132 days this year versus 113 last year. Now, it too, 132 is a big improvement over the last 4 weeks. It's not as big of an improvement as in LA because a lot of those people where their structures burned down and they're able to go find a new pending sales because they can get another home, a luxury home, because they have enough cash in the bank. Now you're going to see a lot of them push towards LA, but they're also looking around at other areas, which is why we've seen a push in some areas. We saw that in the luxury within Orange County, and we're having a hard time seeing it in any of the other numbers yet. Now, as far as rentals are concerned, this is where the true impact is. But first, I wanted to bring in our sponsor, and our sponsor is Alan Mack with Mack Financial Services. And Alan Mack with Mack Financial Services, it's luxury residential financing for the most discerning clientele and private banking rates for your clients. So he has special relationships. He has a network of private and regional banks. He knows the best of the best in these banks. And he's a luxury specialist with loan amounts of up to $100 million. So that's like the mega jumbo loans. He shops for the lowest rate and he gets below market interest rates. And that's his specialty. He has unique offerings, debt to income ratios up to 50%, flexible underwriting, and he has years of experience. He's been doing this since 1988, over 100 5-star reviews. He has unparalleled knowledge, and he, for 10 years running now, 2024 5-star legends with the Essing and the Fortune magazine. So Alan comes with a lot of experience. So contact Alan Mack and let him get the lowest rate for you and your clients. 949-929-1091. That's 949-929-1091. Thanks, Alan, for your sponsorship. We really appreciate it. And now back to the program. Now, as far as the rents are concerned, now you remember the dimmer switch where you're not going to really feel it in the residential resale section. I mean, there will be some extra demand that's out there, and which will help things, but it's not going to be super noticeable because it was already pretty sluggish within the residential resale arena because of all the extra homes that were added within this last year. It's not as hot of a residential resale market as last year. That's for sure across all markets. Now, but as far as rental, the lease side of things, it's like a light switch. This was instantaneous. There's a lot of displaced people, and they have to find someplace to live. Now, they all can't be in hotels. They all can't be in Airbnbs, and I'm sure there's a lot that are staying with family or friends. But so there's been kind of a light switch as far as residential leasing is concerned, and you can really see it in Los Angeles. I'm showing you the different rental rates from 0 to 5,000, 5 to 10,000. Look at the 10 to 20,000 across the board. It's up 53%. That 3,263 total leases that were done within the month of January was the most ever in us going back into where we're able to gauge it through our multiple listing feeds. Now, that's 3,263. That's up 53%. You could see that it's up 25% from 0 to 5,000. It's up 77% from 5 to 10,000. $10,000 to $20,000 per month is actually up 113%. And the 20,000 plus leases are actually up 252%. January of last year, there were 54 leases that were done. January of this year, there were 190. So you could see there is a gigantic tidal wave of people that are trying to secure leases, and it's really eaten into the current inventory that's out there. So we're going to continue to watch this because this happened like during January, mid-January. Not everybody can get into a lease right away, so this will continue to be that light switch on within the months of February and March, and we're going to continue to watch the data to see what it looks like year over year because it's really outlandishly high compared to where it was just a year ago, and it was the most ever in Los Angeles County. And you could see the other county. Now, I looked to see where we saw rises in different counties, and you can see it in Orange County as well. It was up 13% year over year. This is for January of 2024 versus January 2025. And you can see here that it's 20,000 plus per month leases, again, up 250%. The 10 to 20,000 up 93%, the 5 to 10,000 up 20%, and the 0 to 5,000 just up 3%. So you can see it's the upper end where a lot of those people were displaced, and they not only were looking in LA, but they were looking in Orange County as well. And Ventura leasing as well for the month of January, it was up 27%, but it's not the upper end. As a matter of fact, where it sits is the 5 to 10,000s up 176%. So there's different people with different household incomes and different circumstances, and it seems to be in Ventura the sweet spot is 5 to 10,000. There's not going to be a whole heck of a lot above that at any rate. So, but that's where you see that is a gigantic jump from 21 to 58. That's 176% change. So overall for all ranges up 27%. The San Diego, we actually saw an uptick of 9%. And where was it? Look at the 20,000 plus. There were a lot of people that ended up coming down to San Diego County because it went from 1 in January of 2024 to 19, and 5 from 10 to 20,000 to 2 to 20. That's a 300% increase. Other than that, really not much of a change. Matter of fact, down from 5 to 10,000, but overall up 9%. Now, the last area that we actually saw an uptick in the number of leases is actually in Coachella Valley. So January, year over year, you're seeing it went from 136 to 155, which is up 14%. And the 10,000 plus monthly lease amounts, that's only up by 1. Now, 5 to 10,000 went from 18 to 36, which is exactly double. And everything else is pretty much washed, pretty much the same. So that 5 to 10,000, once again, very much like Ventura, you're looking for a bit of a savings and a nice home. Look at that. It's doubled there. So these are the areas where we've seen this immediate impact, and we're going to continue to monitor this for the month of February and March. And I think after that, we should probably see that a lot of people will be able to secure their temporary living circumstances. Some will secure some longer term because they have extra money in the bank. That's not everybody that's out there. And it's going to take a while for everybody to see if they're going to rebuild, if they're going to be renting for a while, what exactly they're going to do. This is not something that happens overnight. So that's why we refer to it as a dimmer switch. It's really slow. If they don't end up leasing right away, which is where a lot of these people have to go temporary, anybody that's burned down, they have to find something, some place to live. And some may move out of the area completely. So we won't be able to gauge that, but we'll be able to gauge the extra movement, and we'll be continuing to watch demand on the residential resale side. But where we're going to see it the most is in the residential leasing side, not the residential resale side. So in January, the leases, there was an extra 1,362 leases year over year, and not much has changed other than those fires. So in the month of January, it's not really home to a lot more residential leasing, but like I said, in LA, it was a gigantic difference. In those other markets too, we saw that difference. There's an extra 1,362, which takes care of some of the displaced households, but remember, there's close to 12,000 people that needed to find something else. So there's still going to be some churn that we will continue to watch, and it's going to really place a lot of pressure on the residential, leasing side of things, where if there's this much demand and there's only so much available, especially within some ranges and in the lower ranges, it's just going to apply pressure for pricing. And that's why they are really watching closely any price gouging, because that is the last thing that anybody wants to see. It would just be absolutely ludicrous for people to take advantage of people that are already totally hurting. So, and then this does not track any apartments. So some people might have gone out there and rented within an apartment complex. That won't be showing up in my data. So I'm sure there's quite a few that went that route as well. So that's where some of the other displaced households have gone. And like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more content like this. The most recent report that just came out this week is for a lot of the coastal markets, just got this, called the winter thaw, talking about how much the market is thawing out and it's really revving its engine. And all the other inland areas, including Phoenix and Vegas, as well as the Bay Area, will get this next week, a winter thaw. And if you'd like to be a subscriber, it's $15 per month or $150 per year. You can go to reportsonhousing.com. That's reportsonhousing.com, and utilize the coupon code TRENDS for a free month. So thank you very much for joining us with another housing debrief. I hope you got a lot out of this. I've been working my tail off because so many people have been asking, what is going on with these fires? What's the impact on housing? And now I'm beginning to be able to read it by looking through all the data and statistics. So it's not just a gut feeling. It's supported with actual facts and information, not just some people stating what they're seeing because they've heard of something that's happened, or this real estate agent has this experience. This is the collective data, and that's what we have to go by. So if you have any other questions, put them in the comments. If you want to see another YouTube video and you want us to hit another topic, go ahead and put that in the comments as well. We'll be happy to answer anything that you have. Hope you have a great finish to your week, and we will see you on the other side. Oh, and by the way, I recorded this on February 7th, Friday. So we just finished January, and that's why we were able to get you all the January statistics. Thank you much, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the other side.